Reactions has continued to trail the new appointment of service chief by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you recall, in a statement released on Monday evening, June the 19th of 2023, by Mr. Willie Bassi, Director Information Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, puts Malam Nuhu Ribado as the National Security Advisor. Major General C.G. Musa, the Chief of Defense Staff, Major General T.A. Lagbaja, Chief of Armed Staff, Rear Admiral E.A. Ogala, Chief of Naval Staff, and Air Vice Marshal H.B. Abakar, Chief of Air Staff, and DIG Kayode Betokun as the Acting Inspector General of Police. And also Major General Ekpa Idia Yedje, Chief of Defense Intelligence. While many have come to hail the decision, others have already started setting up the direction for which the service chief should go if they want to be impactful in their new appointment. With over 63,111 Nigerians killed under the last administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, it looks as if their job is already cut out for them to understand the huge expectations Nigerians demand from them. But judging by the statement of the new Inspector General of Police, Betokun, yesterday, when he was decorated by Vice President Kashi Shettima and assisted by his wife, when asked how he feels about his new responsibility, Kayode said he feels like a tiger ready to chase away all the criminals in Nigeria. Is such high expectation needed from him and other service chiefs, and how can they match actions with words to change the ugly narrative? Well, a look at this recent appointment and a critical overview of the security challenge that they will be facing is what this edition of The Big Story is all about. And we're talking about the new service chiefs and Nigerian youth expectation from them. That's what we're looking at today on The Big Story. We're talking about the new service chiefs and Nigerian youth expectation from them. Well, indeed, you agree that it's quite timely. We have such discussion, judging definitely by the recent appointment of no other person but President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just a day before yesterday. But anyway, today talking about it, I have two lovely guests in the studio with me. I have no other person but a security consultant who holds a master degree in intelligence and security. And I'm talking of no other person but Mr. Omojefe Edafe. Good morning and welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
And also joining us on this awesome discussion, important it is, we have our very own who handles security watch on our very own station, Quest 93.1 FM. And I'm talking of no other person but Comrade Efe Odomo. Good morning, welcome to the show, sir.
Maybe I have to also attach a PhD criminology to my own name too.
Well, anyway, before we can go ahead to catch the criminals, I feel it's also important we look at the issues that concerns those appointments. Now, but before we look at the challenge they will be confronted with and Nigerians' expectation, I want to first, let's look at the appointments and the buzz concerning the quickness in which Mr. President took that decision just less than a month when he was sworn into office. And already he's now giving us the names of the security chiefs that will be working with him, and also helping us and saving us from the usual long consultation and naturally that characterize such appointments that we've seen over the past, especially during the last administration. But my question is, do you feel this appointment is a sign of change and a feeling of assurance from Nigerians? I just really want to know your thoughts concerning the appointment of the new service chiefs.
Thank you very much once again for having me. And good morning, viewers. I sincerely want to appreciate the efforts of Mr. President.
Okay.
To me, is a decision in the right direction. And let me just briefly do an overview.
Okay.
You know, we've been having this kind of, before now, we had a conventional warfare, which was basically the kinetic warfare, where you have boots running around and they engage in the theater of warfare and all that.
Yeah.
You know, but we have a non-kinetic approach now. Okay. And I think that that's...
When you mean non-kinetic, what do you mean?
What I mean non-kinetic, okay, like we have the kinetic, which is like the normal operational warfare. You engage in the operational warfare, you see your military troops, you know, you see people you are fighting and all that. But the non-kinetic one is the admissibility of non-kinetic factors, like, the use of ideological warfare, use of cryptology, use of, cyber warfare and all that. So what we are looking at now is the non-kinetic kind of warfare. It is no longer the traditional warfare where we had why I'm very comfortable, like I tell you, let me just, presently now we have, these are new crop of officers.
Okay.
You see, all of them, they are all cost 38. I think the only cost 38, 39. Yeah. The only cost 38 is the chief of defense staff.
Yes.
That's the other one, Christopher Musa. And the other ones are cost 39. You see, so it's a new thing. You see, they came in at the right time. They have the adequate training for the non-kinetic approach.
Okay.
Very much unlike the conventional, the ones we had, who have spent over before now. These ones have been sincerely trained. They've been fundamentally, they have been trained purposely because of their pedigree. If you look at their profile, they have what it takes, to nip. And you look at for instance, let me just do this. The chief of defense staff, has been in the operational theater. Yeah. He was in charge. He was the commander of the operational theater in the northeast.
IDK.
And so he did wonderfully well. So they have what it takes. When you talk about the chief of naval staff, we'll go to that. We'll see they all have what it takes. So I think it's the appointment in the right direction. And I think Mr. President has decisively dealt with it. It shows the leadership in the right direction.
Okay. Now, let me quickly come to you, Comrade Efe-Odomo. Well, yes, in the early hours, or rather the late hours of Monday, precisely, we got information, and, it was more like a buzz for a whole lot of persons, especially considering the fact that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, just 2 weeks back, had the meeting with even the service chiefs, where he gave them that feeling that, things will be different, but it looks as if I'll be working with you people for a while. But boom, out of the blues, the change came. So for you, what are your thoughts on the quick appointment of service chiefs? And not only that, but really, we'll come to what Nigerians should expect, but I'm really, really asking, what are your feelings and thoughts about these persons that have been appointed?
Yes, Mike, I don't know whether you want to tell me again that I want to go proverbial, but I think it is necessary.
Well, anyways, you're free to use it.
Yes, by inviting the service chiefs, the immediate past ones to Asoro Villa, a few days before they were retired. You don't show the goat the knife you want to use in killing him, despite the fact that the goat will not complain, seeing you with the knife. But it is normal you don't show it to the goat. Now you call them to the Asoro Villa, make them feel there is nothing going wrong, everything is well. But the man cannot tell them in advance that I want to retire you. Nobody does that.
Okay.
Nobody does that. And when I will not say he shoved them aside, it is necessary that they must change the service chiefs. The power must change hands. It's a saying in one of these worship houses.
Yeah.
And it's not the only one to have done it. When Obasanjo came in 1999, if I could remember, the first thing he did was to retire every military man that have held political office. And it was like a volcanic eruption in the whole
But many will feel because he was once a military man, so he understood the dynamics.
Once you are a head of state, you are a military man. You like it or not. Once you are a head of state, you are a military man. That is why you see the ADC of the head of state is always a military man, not a police. The vice president can be, and the vice president uses police as his own only. But the head of state, yes, that's why they call it commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He's a military man already. Forget about what is wearing. Yeah. Tinubu has done well as far as we are concerned in these very few appointments he has made so far. Okay. And the people, don't forget, the man told you some time ago that he started preparing for this position since 1999. Oh. And he must have been going around all the formations, looking for who and who, looking for who to be used. If you watch when the Lagos State was starved of funds by the former president Obasanjo, what did he do? He called one of the chartered accountants in Lagos. I don't want to mention his name because it will look as if I am marketing him publicly. What do we do to raise money? The first thing the man told him that, look, we know we are lawless in Lagos. Let us put all these laws. You relate on the road, you pay fine. You drive one way, you pay fine. You do that, you pay fine. And he was able to raise enough money. So all you are saying, you're not surprised about the quick appointment. It's not even quick. You just saw it coming. It's not even quick. Okay, now, okay. Yes, because the man there is also, I was wondering if he needed him to announce the new service chief on the day of inauguration or something. There's nothing wrong if he has done that. Okay, anyway, let's leave that and now come to another major issue. Because, the buzz and the excitement over his appointment of the service chief is also bringing up some major issues. And one of the issues that was brought up was the issue of federal character. Now, you would agree with me
that in the last administration, what really bedeviled that very administration that had a whole lot of backlash, especially when the service chiefs were not performing, was the lopsidedness of its appointment.
Yes.
Many criticized the appointment. Many felt that was even the reason we're not achieving the needed gains as it concerns our security. So let's look at this and look at the names that were mentioned on account of the new service chief he has put in. Do you feel he followed the federal character? That's the first question. And why is the federal character always so important to follow when you're appointing service chiefs? Comrade Damo.
Yes, number one, the epileptic nature in which the insecurity matter was handled in the last administration is what you just analyzed.
Yes.
Lopsidedness in appointment
was blamed as a major factor.
Yes. And if you now build that one up, the federal character becomes necessary so that all of us cannot sit on the table. Only one person will be dictating the pace and standing on the head of every other person. If you have somebody from the north, you have another one from the east, another one from the west, the one from the middle belt, there should be check and balances between these two people. There was somebody said one day that this crime in Nigeria thrive because if they want to do evil in one part of the country, the person in charge, that is the overall head, will have to call that person that, look, so operation is going on, step aside from the area for now. When they finish, they now come back and start chasing ghosts. So with the appointment, when you use federal character, you are watchful of me. So I'm watchful of him. He's watchful of the other person.
In these very appointments.
Definitely, yes. You have an Igbo man there. You have the middle belt there. You have the north there. You have the west there. So that is federal character. Everybody is represented in the government. Don't forget, they can even tag this appointment as an appointment of a unity, national unity. And that is what the Tinubu is pursuing. You know, he has fire behind him. Tinubu has fire behind him. He would never do any silly mistake that will make people to start doubting his integrity and his capability. That is why he's not choosing this national and national outlook. I want to form a government that everybody will be involved, so that they will not say that my victory is being challenged in what is not settled. I'm already practicing tribalistic government. Yes. So I believe that what he has done is right, very, very correct, and it's in order.
I really want to come to you to really ask also, because, well, he just said it. Why really important is federal character important in the appointment? Because many will argue that should we not think towards getting people that are credible rather than looking at federal character, especially when it comes to the issue of security, because security concerns everyone. And if you, by means of federal character, put the wrong person there, you will also suffer for it. So why federal character?
I sincerely want to believe, and as it is, federal character does not hold when it comes to the appointment of service chiefs. Okay. We must be very sincere here.
Yes.
I think what the president just did is to kind of make everybody be on board. Make everybody
in what sense?
Everybody in geopolitical zones to feel a sense of belonging. Okay. Otherwise,
in the security architecture of the country.
Otherwise, it's basically meritocracy. What was supposed to be the order of the day in security matters. We have the act that sets up the Armed Forces Act. It talks about meritocracy, not basically federal character. It has nothing to do with federal character. But I think what he inherited is a jaundiced state of the nation.
Well, a strong word there.
Yeah. So what the only thing he has to do is to make sure and make everybody have a sense of belonging, and that is what he's doing. Like what Mr. Domo said. The truth of the matter is that his man knows what is behind him. So he has to come up with this toga of acceptability. What do I do to be generally accepted by everybody? So he has to do something, play by the rules, make everybody feel like, and you see the songs are beginning to change. You see some obedience already singing the tune of, let's allow the man be in charge, let him rule and all that. This is what he tries to. He's trying to endear himself to the masses. And I think if he goes like this,
by the appointment,
if he goes like this, I don't see him failing.
Okay, now let's look at it, because you talked again about the issue of federal character should not always take center stage when it comes to appointment. Now, according to our own finding, we do a whole lot of finding before we come on any show we do. The reason we do so is to not just only add value to the show, but also to let Nigerians and Deltans understand the state we are in. Now, this is it. About 100 top officials, including generals, brigadier generals, air vice marshal, and admirals in Nigerian Armed Forces and Nigerian Navy, would definitely proceed on a compulsory retirement. They'll start it today, and it might end in 2 weeks' time. All are going. 100 top military officers are going on account of these new appointments, because they will not be seen to be senior to the officers they'll be answering to. That's the command of that's the way the military
is. The military tradition.
Is the military tradition. Now, my question is, undermining you guys have talked, he picked on character, federal character, to ensure that everybody is on board. But basically, what should naturally necessitate them picking an officer? What's the criteria in saying, he should be picked for the job? Because we want to know, and I know many Nigerians are eager to know what criteria were used in picking these persons to be head of security in Nigeria.
Now, I want to tell you something. If you remember what Bart said, he said something sometime last week, was it last week or this week, that we campaigned for the elections. We begged Nigerians to be voted in, and so we don't have excuses. Now, I want to say something here. We have what we call the Defense Military Intelligence, which was part of the normal NSO, which will have the National Security Organization. Before it was balkanized into DMI, DSS, and the NIA. Now, there is a profile of every officer that is kept. The day you join the military, you have a profile, you have a dossier. So when the man came in, he's the commander-in-chief, don't forget.
Yes.
And he has experts. I can confidently tell you, some Israelis are working with Mr. President. This is off the record, but I know that. So what he requested was, let me have them. Let me have them. And they dealt extensively with them. And I tell you, these men, this bandwagon, this set of service chiefs, they come highly recommended.
So it's based on their performance.
So
previous performance
before he dealt with the issue of federal character spread and all that. But I tell you sincerely, they are highly recommended, and they have a pedigree that speaks volume. So aside that's why I said this as the issue of you will understand that, for instance, Christopher Musa is not the only officer of the 38. 38. So they would have, even those who were 38 with him, they have to go. So it's the norm. You can't allow your senior come and begin to pay obedience to you and all that. So they have to be retired. And like I said earlier, this crop of service chiefs have been more involved in non-kinetic measures. So they have been trained within and without this country. So they have what it takes. And don't forget also, these people, they have been involved in operational warfare. Before now. They have been in serious theaters, from the chief of defense staff to the list, and even the DIG. So and even when you come to also the Nigeria Customs, the present acting DG of the Nigeria Customs has been involved in operational part. So he knows, the man has their dossier. He has gone through them, studied them over time. So it was basically on meritocracy, on merit grounds.
Okay, Comrade, I want to bring you into this because I could still remember last year you had a very brief and major dealing with one of the top military brass when he gave you an insight of how military, how will I put it, appointments are also being made. And I really want to understand. Now, do you feel it's all about what they've done before now that have given them that avenue of being a part of the new service chief? Or do you feel that that's not just the issue, but maybe other factors? Because every time we tend to look at security chief, we always look at the political side of it.
Yes.
Has politics taken a stroll into those appointments? Was it based on I had my godfathers looking over me? Or do you feel with this crop of new service chief, it was all done on the issue of them really deserving those appointments?
You cannot divorce the two. Their track record must be intact. That is number one thing you look at. How have they performed? How have they fared throughout the period they are in service? Two, what is the level of their loyalty to the commander, to the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces and Nigeria as a whole? Those two factors play major roles. You can be thorough to earth in your official duties, But are you loyal? Are you bendable? Because at that position you are, I don't know what if I say it to be that, well, I crave your indulgence if it is wrong, and let Nigerians forgive me. When Obasanjo was in power, some people went to him and said, look, we don't have federal presence in our area. And he told them, sit down. He called the CDS. The CDS came and sat down and said, this man is from where? He says, from my area. He said, this is the only man that can tell me as I'm here now that stand up from this seat and I will stand up. Now that is more than federal presence. You understand? They look at your loyalty to the service, your loyalty to the commander-in-chief, and your loyalty to the people. Adding that one to your credibility in the force, that one gives you an edge over every other person. Don't forget, the word knowledge is a two words joined together. Every one of us know, but somebody has an edge. That is knowledge. All of them have this military training. They are grinded. They have the weighted tool. They have what it takes to tackle whatever situation that may arise. Are you loyal to the system?
It's another.
That is
in choosing.
Yes, that is the political aspect of it.
Yeah.
And that is why you see that all these political parties, their slogan is, I'm loyal, sir. Mike, I'm loyal, sir. They are telling you that they are also expecting something from you. So the president has appointed people. Definitely the tradition, these 100 people will go over, the 100 people will go. It's not the fault of the president. It is a laid down rules and regulation of the military. Now, when you now bring this crop of people together, don't forget he has advisors, he has informants within all the military sectors. He has informants.
I was wondering, how did he pick them?
Yeah.
So is it that he went, like you said, went to the dossier, brought it out, looked at all of it, or did he have major security advisors that channeled his view towards picking this?
He can make a suggestion. I want 5 people. These 5 people, please go and work on their dossier. Let me see who is best fit for it. They can come back with 3 and say, look, Mr. President, these 3 people have been found not wanting in their various listings. Okay, who is this one? Mike. Is Mike loyal? If we use him, is he going to be loyal to us? Yes. Okay. What of this? And no, this one has on this one. At the end of the day, he comes up with one. But the issue, let me just finish it at once. The issue of the federal character, you disagree with me a little bit, but I can tell you, there is no way, nowhere, no how you go to a whole race and you will not find a credible person. No way. So when they say they want to appoint based on your credibility and capability, it cannot come from only one zone. And that's what Mr. President has done. So in appointing, even in the office where you are, you cannot appoint a subordinate that will disobey you.
Of course not. But anyway, what I feel we need to do now, as much as we're enjoying the discussion, we need to go on a break. But when we come back, we'll continue our discussion as we look at the appointment of new service chiefs and what that means for a country that is already facing a whole lot of security challenges and would want a change that truly concerns the issue of security. Let's go on a break.